Hey everyone, Garret O'Leary here with the O'Leary Brothers team here at Lead Realty. Thank you for clicking on this video, and I got a great video for today. We're going to be talking about some of the best places to eat in Destin in 2023. I think it's been plenty of time since I've done my last one, and I've tried a bunch of new restaurants, so I've got a couple more that I want to add to the list, and maybe some honorable mentions near the end. So without further ado, let's jump into the top 5 list of the best places to eat in Destin if you're here on vacation, whether you're a new resident or whatever it is. Some good restaurants for you to try. Alright, so before I jump into the list, these are in no particular order. My number 1 isn't necessarily the best restaurant I've ever had, but it is definitely up there. This is just 5 of the best ones that I've had in 2023 that I think you should definitely try if you're new to the area. Now, coming in at number 1 on my top 5 list is Memos. Now, Memos is an Italian restaurant that is actually not too far from where I live right now, but it is absolutely delicious. Some of the best Italian food that you can get in all of Destin. So I highly recommend trying it out if you've been craving Italian food, or it's something that you miss and you feel like you haven't had a good Italian place in quite some time. If you really want to try Memos, I highly recommend getting a reservation. It is a smaller restaurant, doesn't have a lot of tables available, and it's always busy. It is that good. I highly recommend testing out pretty much anything on their menu, but I personally had the ravioli. Obviously, their fettuccine alfredo is very much reliable and just as good as pretty much anywhere that you go. And I personally say their pizza is some of the best. They have a brick oven pizza that's in the back. You can see them make it. Everything's fresh. It is absolutely delicious. And I think one of my favorite aspects about Memos is that it has some of the best drinks that you can get around. Now, they are a little bit more pricier, but again, it is worth the ambiance. It is worth the time. It is a evening well spent, whether you're going with friends, family, or a significant other. It is a blast. I highly recommend checking out Memos. Now on to number 2, and this is pretty much a cult classic. It is a locals favorite. I really couldn't, there's almost no way I can leave this off a top 5 list of best places to eat in Destin because it's just that good, and that is Fat Boys. Now, if you've heard of Fat Boys before, I'm sure a lot of people have, but if you haven't, it is a place where you can get some incredible, just top of the line burgers and just good food in general. They've got great appetizers. I personally love to get on recently, I've been on a kick and getting their buffalo chicken sandwich. It's absolutely just chef's kiss, so good. So Fat Boys is definitely a good recommendation. It's right off of 98, right next to Emerald Grand. So it's right down the main stretch of Destin. So if you are a tourist or if you're just visiting the area and you want something quick, something good, it's always going to be delicious. Fat Boys is a great option. They also have some incredible appetizers. I personally love their cheese curds and their mozzarella sticks, or mozzarella triangles is what they call them, but absolutely delicious. The atmosphere in Fat Boys is actually really cool. It's kind of like what you'd expect from like a bar scene type thing, where you can watch sports, you can go there for kind of bigger sporting events, so they're gonna have games on. It's just a blast. Their drinks are really good. They have good margaritas. I personally always get either a vodka cranberry or vodka Red Bull. I've never had a problem. I thought they've always been really delicious. So overall, Fat Boys is I wish I could put all these at number 1 as like the best places to eat because they're all that good, but Fat Boys is definitely a great place to be. They also have locations in Niceville and I believe in Crestview, but wherever you are, definitely try out Fat Boys. 100% recommend it. Coming in at number 3 is actually again another crowd pleaser. You can't really come to a seafood in a really coastal area without trying one of the places that's on the Harbor Walk Village, and that is Bertulas. Now, particularly, I like Bertulas because I'm not a huge fan of seafood, believe it or not. Living on the coast, I know it's a little weird, but I'm not a huge fan of seafood, but I feel like Bertulas has a number of options that make it a great place for me and a bunch of friends and family. If we like to go, if they like seafood and want to get something that's fresh and delicious. So Bertulas is a really nice place to be. It's right on the water. You're looking out over the Destin Harbor. So you're seeing boats go by, you're seeing people kind of walk down below you or next to you, depending on where you're sitting. But it is just a great place to be. Drinks, again, are always good. Their lunch menu, their dinner menu, you really won't go wrong. And again, if you're a seafood person, I highly recommend it. Again, I've never personally tried it, so I can't speak on how good they are. But everybody that I know absolutely loves everything they've made. They've really never had a problem. So Bertulas, it's a great atmosphere. It's got incredible views, especially in the evenings as the sun's setting. And pretty much all year round, they're gonna have some delicious food. They do have specials, obviously, so you're gonna have to try it out, whether you're a tourist or a resident or just someone that wants to try out new places. But Bertulas is definitely on this top 5 list of the best places to eat in Destin. And I hope no one gets mad at me too much, because I know there's a bunch of good seafood and a bunch of good restaurants right on the Harbor Walk. But Bertulas is personally a place that I've been to a couple times that I've enjoyed it every single time I've gone. And coming in at number 4 is actually some place that I've recently gone to. Over the last few months is actually the first time that I've tried it. Personally, I never even heard about it up until I was just searching through Google places to eat, and it's called Pazzo Italiano. Now, again, I'm a big Italian food person. I love going to get Italian food. I love ravioli, I love lasagna. I mean, you just name something on an Italian menu and odds are I'm gonna get it. So trying a new Italian place was always a big plus for me. So going to Pazzo Italiano is a breath of fresh air. As much as I love Memos, this place is delicious as well. It's a little bit bigger than Memos, so you actually have some more opportunity to just walk in and find a table, but they are absolutely delicious. Their pizza, again, it's kind of the same thing as Memos. They have a brick oven pizza that's right there, so they make the pizza right in front of you, so you know it's gonna be good. But I personally have had their lasagna and their ravioli, and it is impeccable. It is so good. So much flavor. I mean, you can just tell how fresh it is. It was absolutely delicious. And again, it might be a sin to add 2 Italian restaurants on this list, but it's my list. I want to make it. I added 2 Italian restaurants. Try Memos, try Pazzo Italiano. You will not regret it. Plus, Pazzo Italiano is right next to Barnes & Noble, so after you're done eating, walk on in, get a book, read a little bit, enjoy your time. You're right next to the Commons as well, so you were just right across the street. It's got plenty of fun things to do around it as well, so definitely worth a try. It is delicious. Their drinks are impeccable as well. All of the wait staff and the bartenders are really good. I've never had a problem. None of the drinks I've ever had have been gross by any means, so highly recommend it. And last but not least is another Mexican restaurant, and I think many of you are expecting me to say Peppers, but being that I've talked about it so much, I decided not to include that on my list this time around. And I know it might be a little surprising being that I talk about Peppers pretty much every time. But this one is actually in the Destin Commons, so it's definitely more tourist heavy. It's meant to draw in a big crowd. It's a bigger restaurant, but it is El Jalisco, and that is again right across the street, or not across the street. It is right next to Bass Pro Shops. And so if you're in the mood to get some camo gear and then hunting equipment or whatever you may need, but craving Mexican food, hop right across and get some El Jalisco. It is incredible. I tend to get a lot of the enchiladas for some reason. I think they've always been really good, but you really can't go wrong with anything. The flautas are delicious. I mean, they've really got a bit of everything, and they do an incredible job of making all of their food. So I highly recommend, if you are craving some Mexican food and you are in the Commons, just shopping, hanging out, El Jalisco is the place to be. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this quick top 5 list of places to eat in Destin, Florida. Again, these are some of my favorite restaurants that I've been to over the 2023, and felt like I wanted to revamp my list from last year. And I included pretty much all new ones except for Fat Boys. That's the one that recurred because it's just so good. It is so reliable. They make a great burger. Awesome people that work there, so highly recommend checking it out. Whether you're a tourist, a resident, or someone that just wants to try new places, all 5 of these are delicious. And just so you know, Destin is full of some amazing restaurants. So these aren't the only 5 that I recommend going to. I recommend trying everything and letting me know in the comments places that I should try. And you never know, it could make it in my next list. But as always, my name is Garrett with the O'Leary Brothers team, and I will see you in the next one.